And welcome, my friends. It's me, Jennifer from Mystic Star. So excited about today. Today, we're going to explore Scorpio. Now, when I looked at it earlier in the week, I thought Scorpio was headed in to the sky tonight. I was wrong. It's not Thursday, it's actually Saturday. As scheduling happens, I wanted to give you a couple of days before rather than a couple of days into Scorpio to get you this guidance and insight. I like doing my weekly readings on Fridays for you guys, and the weekends are always crazy with my kids. So I wanted to make sure that A, I wasn't rushed, and B, we didn't miss out on anything. So Scorpio actually will come into the sky and be in that dominant position as of Saturday, the 23rd of October. So we have a couple of days more with our current friend, but we're soon going to head into that Scorpio energy. And it's going to be fantastic. Scorpio, of course, is a water bearer, similar to Pisces, Libra, that kind of stuff. But the water itself is going to really help us with connecting in. I know it's usually connected into that emotion. Guess what your number one challenge is when it comes to channeling and gaining that insight? Emotion, fear, right? We've shut our clairs down due to fear. We've been told only certain people can do this, that only a select few may do this. You have the ability just like everybody else. Some people may be stronger at it, some people may be better at it. It's just like art. Everyone has an ability to take a piece of paper and a pencil and create. Just sometimes we like what others do better. And you know what? I like stick people. I think they're fantastic. But that emotion is what gets us in trouble. Water is also going to be a major support for us because it is the one thing that can clear, cleanse, and soothe. We usually feel refreshed and fantastic after a shower. When our muscles are sore, we should take a hot bath. We can use that to our advantage. And as the energies continue to be challenging, continue to be a little bit conflictual, we can use water to our advantage there. I've said in my past videos that you can take a break, go to the bathroom, put your hands underwater. You don't have to add anything, just let the water wash away that pressure, that prickliness. You don't usually get questioned if you say, "Oh, can I get a sec? I'm just going to go into the bathroom. I'll be right back." People don't usually go, "No, pee yourself." They're not going to challenge you, right? And we're in COVID, so the fact you're washing your hands, people are like, "Oh, look at them. They're being great." Win-win. But you can bring down some of that inner kind of that we get. It's not really a great word for it, but there's not really a great word for that feeling, right? That anxious, overwhelmed feeling. To sum it up in one word, is kind of spot on. So today I want to look at how we can use Scorpio to our best and greatest good. Because there are opportunities in Scorpio, just like there's opportunities in everything else. Is it going to help us with the thinning of the veil? Absolutely. And I'm already starting to get some fantastic stories sent to me. Oh my God, guess what I saw, heard, felt, whatever. It's fantastic. I love this time of year. Not only are the colors gorgeous, pumpkin spice, yummy, the stories of October are fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so the decks, and I changed my mind a number of times because I couldn't get the right pairing. I have the Witch's Tarot. Absolutely love it. It can be very blunt. I think we need that. Just kind of, here you go, message. No questions. And then, upside down. This is the Oracle of Lemuria, or sorry, what is it? Beyond Lemuria Oracle. I love it. It's got a water feel to it, so I felt it would go really well with Scorpio. So let's get into the cards because I've been bibbling for a while. And I love how when I'm bibbling, it works into what it is we were supposed to talk about anyway. So let's get some cards on the table though. What can my friends expect from Scorpio? I should mention, I do have links below to both these decks. I love giving people who have taken the time to create these amazing decks the opportunity to share their talents and amazingness with others. All right. Stepping through. I love this card. It has sass, balance, and well, a Merkaba. So Merkaba is this right here. It's that simple. It's part of the geometric or sacred geometry. I love it. So stepping through into yourself, into your light, really owning you. Like I said, Scorpio is a water sign. So Scorpio is going to help degunk, because let's be honest, I can put a pinpoint on when we really started to feel things turn for kind of the more chaotic, and that would have been Gemini. Sorry, Gemini, or anybody who is born in a Gemini. But it was May, I believe May 21st is when Gemini came in. And Casters and Pollock really started that push and pull that we've been feeling all summer. And it's cascaded into the fall. Like I said, using water to cleanse and clear us. Didn't I just say as I was shuffling? I love it when I have this like kind of random tangent introduction, and that's what we're talking about. Anyway, stepping through, stepping into self, clearing self. The water is going to be our center point. It's a lotus flower at the bottom. We need it. We need that kind of thank God moment. I love this deck because it does have the fifth or some of the fifth dimensional chakras. This is the Earth Star chakra. So the 7 chakras that you know, your root, your sacral, your God, I haven't finished my first cup of coffee. Solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. Those are the ones that we know. They're a third dimensional. The Earth Star chakra is a fifth dimensional. So it's kind of a step up, if you will. It grounds us like never before. It's beneath the root chakra, and it helps to really give us that sense of stability. And I've said this probably during the summer, I really started talking about how we needed to upgrade our system. And there are different people who have different fifth dimensional systems. They're all kind of the same, and the Earth Star is one of the common ones that are there. Are they right? Yes. You will find the fifth dimensional system that you need. The system that I worked with Archangel, it was mostly Metatron, and I had other archangels come in. We created and kind of altered what many people believed was the fifth dimensional, where they kind of, if you looked at the system, you have the first one is the Earth Star, then you have the root, just like normal. And then they decided to split the sacral and into 2. So you have a sacral and a navel. When that was presented, which I believe it started to really come into awareness, semi-awareness, back in 2012, when we had that first vibrational step up. We had an energetical surge in 2012. It came forward, and that was really needed. We needed that extra passion, that extra creativity. It's not as much needed anymore. So what they've asked me to do, instead of splitting the 2, We have chakras in our hands and our feet. They're called energetical gateways. Helps with the healing, helps with the connecting. There's 4 of them kind of encompassed in one, and that's really important. So, total tangent on that, I know, but that energetical healing, nurturing, and loving a self is going to be really important, especially over Scorpio. We need to be grounded to really embrace us, these opportunities, bending of the veil. There's so many ways. So we need to make sure that we have that grounded energy and that we're using our energetical systems to our advantage, making sure that they're flowing. They should be flowing down with the universal energy and up with that earthy energy. So that's why we have the soul star chakra. The more grounded we are, the more balanced we are, the more we're going to be able to embrace and be open to. So let's get some more insight into this. If you have questions about, and I kind of touched on it, I love another passion of mine is energetical healing. So if you want more information on the 5th dimensional chakra system, leave it below, email me, contact me. We can chat. All right, let's get into this. What further insight, wisdom, and guidance? I almost threw that back up on the floor. Can we share with my friends so that they can embrace the messages of Scorpio? This is one of my older decks. I think it was created in the 90s. I'm not entirely sure when it was published, but it's even got a curl to it. I've used it so much. It's one of the favorites when I go on to shows and stuff like that. There's just a kind of a connection and you're home when you're using a deck that you really know and love. Not that I don't love all my decks. The Knight of Swords. I've said this in the last number of readings. We need to be active participants, which is really hard because it's freakishly scary. It's so easy just to stand back and watch others attempt. We're missing out. We're limiting our opportunities to learn and to experience, which are 2 reasons why we're here. Another one would be that healing, because we're carrying a lot of baggage from past lifetimes, past experiences. It's heavy. And it's funny how when people start this path, that they're like, yeah, sure, I'll just heal and we'll be fine. They heal and then they realize, oh, it's a lot bigger and a lot messier than I thought. Why I always encourage those small steps. But it's scary. That's why we need that knight. Knights are that adolescent, no fear, this isn't going to stop me energy. We need to be embracing that solar plexus energy that will push and drive us forward. Seek the knowledge. It's going to help you pretty much not go through, but blow through at amazing speed and strength in a slow, steady way. I know that sounds crazy, but you want to go forward with that momentum and that meaning. Yeah, I got this. This is it. But in a steady manner, a stable manner. Because if you do it through leaps and bounds, those leaps of faith, they're unsteady and unstable, and we regress. Because we got that fear element going back. So we want that energy, but we want to maintain it and be in control. The knight is in control. We need that control. Yeah. Heavy on the swords. The 7 of Swords. I'm really sad that they didn't bring in Pamela Coleman Smith's hat. She has this guy wearing this really cool hat. Same scenario. So the For those who aren't aware, swords are all about knowledge. Okay. So Scorpio is going to support you in gaining that knowledge that you need. I said when we pulled stepping through, that's about that authentic self. That's exactly what the Seven of Swords reconfirms. The Seven talks about trying to get away with something. At least the Seven of Swords does. And it's kind of pulling the wool over someone's eyes. The lore behind the Seven of Swords is that this man has crept into enemy camp and is stealing 5 swords, leaving behind 2. Now, in the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, there's a little campfire way in the background, and you see these 2 men standing up. They've been alerted, trying to get away with something. We've been trying to pull the wool over our eyes for years, some of us decades. And the funniest part is, when we started to do this, was adolescence. Our ego started to put fluffy puppiness all around us to protect us. We needed it. Absolutely. To survive adolescence, especially 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It's not like now where there's lots of, oh, look at the bullying. Let's look at this, acceptance. No, it was sink or swim. The sharks fed on the weak. We needed that anymore. Problem is that we assume that as truth rather than checking into it. Why? Well, from adolescence, we went into, you graduate high school, you go in and you get your education and post-secondary, and then you get into the career, then you get into the kids, and now you're like, oh. So somewhere along that line, you've stood up and said, this doesn't feel right. So wherever you are on that continuum, we have that truth we're seeking right now. That's exactly what the Scorpio zodiac is going to help us with. First card was stepping through. It's understanding self. That understanding, you got to cut that fluffy carefully. You start to get too close to the heart too quickly. Remember how I said you're going to regress? Fear snaps in, and that's it. You jump back, and it's even harder to do. Slow and steady. Will you do this in the reign of Scorpio? No. You start it. Like I said, this is a process. And you have a lifetime to do it in. We hate that as humans. We're like, no, I need to have it done by 6 o'clock today. It might happen that way. Like I said, you still have light workers who are struggling with stuff like this. You have light workers who are far in their journey, have learned a lot, are using some skills and abilities that some aren't, many aren't, but we're still learning. We're still uncovering and tapping into even more forgotten gifts. Nice part, guys, this is a 7. 7s are a lucky number. With some work, we will succeed. It's true of anything, really. I love this rendition of the Four of Cups. That just exasperated. Oh, is this it? Is this what I'm dealing with? And then you have this little mermaid who's trying to hand this little boy the Holy Grail to say, no, it's not. And that's exactly what Scorpio is going to do. And it's that Holy Grail. How? Easy. Scorpio is the only sign that comes in with the thinning of the veil. Not coincidence. Every year, Scorpio supports us with having better access to our gifts, our talents. Why? Because the veil is thinning our support team. And scream and yell and and we hear them. Sometimes we see them. And sometimes it's crazy. but we can gain that guidance and that knowledge that we need. I had a meditation that I brought out on Tuesday that was a protection meditation to support you with channeling. I worked with Archangel Michael. We had a great time doing this meditation. Boom, it was fun. Last October, I brought out 3 meditations to help you work with your channeling abilities. Guess what you're getting on Tuesday? You bet it. Another channeling meditation in a different way. The more tools we have, the better we're going to be able to build our structure. No one person does the same skill the same way. Look at painting. How many different ways can you paint? Well, depending on, again, your artistic ability, right? But when you look at it, you've got finger painting, you've got brushes up the wazoo, you've got splatter, you've got spray paint, you've got the one with the air compressor. It's not spray paint. Oh, it'll come to me. But you get the drift. The more ways you have with working with your skills, airbrushing. I love it when it's just like, and there you go. The more ways you can have to work with your tools, the more you're going to be able to do it. Right? So I've been asked by a lot of people, okay, well, so and so says it's this way, but it doesn't work. Well, that's how they do it. Does it work for them? Probably, because they say it does. I have no reason to say they don't. But we need to have those tools. So, taking it one step at a time and enjoying it, guys. If we get too caught up in our heads, we're going to miss out. Because when we get caught up in our head, we can be overcritical. We can overanalyze and go, I don't understand any of it. It's all crap. We're wrong. No, they're puzzle pieces. It's not like you're going to sit down and say, okay, I want to channel somebody, right? Your grandma. Well, are you going to get a conversation where you understand them fluently? Probably not. Most of us have shut down our ears, our clairaudience, our clear hearing. So you're going to get symbols, you're going to get words, scents, symbols, ideas. You need to write them down, and it's a puzzle. So no, you probably won't understand it because most of us have shut down our ears and our eyes due to fear. So that fear debilitating. And we've all had it. We've all had fear of something, and it doesn't matter what it is. We know that terror, and what we've seen and heard can be enough to terrorize us to shut it down. And I've worked with people that no matter what we do, we can't clear it. So use your other clairs. We have a lot of them, so use your skills that you feel comfortable with. The Tower. Dun, dun, dun. It's a really pretty card, though. Like, they've done a great job. We don't like the Tower as a species because it tears down those patterns, it tears down aspects, and we have no control over it. As a species, we love control. It's false, but we do love it. So the Tower is in play. During Scorpio, do not be surprised if you are called on your crap, especially as we have the Seven of Swords. Because that fluffy puffiness, it not only is something that we're trying to convince ourselves and pull the wool over our eyes, we're doing the same with others. So don't be surprised if people are calling you on your crap and hitting the nail on the coffin and you're like, boom, straight on. Because we have been stuck for so long in this mundane blah. Scorpio's going to shake things up, which is good. On the same side, can be really challenging. So go back to your tools. I said at the very beginning in the introduction, water is going to be so important. You start to feel overwhelmed, you start to feel afraid, run your hands under some water. It does a lot in bringing down that anxiety. Queen of Swords. So I'm going to shift my table here. There we go. Okay. So 4 queens in the deck. This is the one queen who has lived through life experience. All her knowledge comes through hard knocks. She's been there. Tower has zapped her in the hiney as well. She stood up, head up tall, took the knowledge, not the heartache. We have to be careful. Scorpio is an emotion-based zodiac because it's a water-based zodiac. Well, that passion, that kind of zhuzh that Scorpio brings can mislead us. Gonna miss the point because it gets caught up and tainted with fear and pain. We need to use our head, our critical thinking skills, and ask those questions. Get to the heart of the matter and embrace those opportunities. The more we work with Scorpio, we work with actually connecting in with ourselves, the less potency Tower has, because you're working with that shift rather than against it. So use your head to guide you. Be mindful. We want a balance here. We have the feminine and the masculine kind of ending and sandwiching everything in, the bookends. We need that balance. We don't want to become cyborgs and turn ourselves off because, again, we're missing a point. But we do want to ask those hard questions. So ask those hard questions. At the same time, taking care of you. I like this Queen of Swords. This is lavender on her lap, which is different because usually she doesn't have that. Like I said at the beginning, I flipped through like 6 decks. I'm like, yeah, no, yeah, love that deck. No. I stumbled on this one because it was at the back because I hadn't used it in a while. And this is why. We want to use that critical thinking. We want to use our brain, but we don't want to get caught up in that cyborg hardness. We need to take care of ourselves. What October, the thinning of the veil, Scorpio can help us with, we need to have that compassion and nurturing. That's heart-centered. We want to be leading with our head. It's not going to misdirect us as much as our heart. Again, balance, guys. That's the hard questions. And when you start to stick your head or your feet in the sand and tantrum, no, I'm not going to do this, this is scary. That is when you need to look at what really is going on. What is it that's causing you that fear? Because that fear will amplify the zappy in the butt. It's going to hurt emotionally, spiritually, and even sometimes physically, depending on what is going to break that pattern for you. Because the Tower is a breaker of patterns. It's funny because one of the things that Scorpio is known for is the truth seeker. Well, guys, we are seeking the truth hot and heavy here. Usually we don't get such a very kind of vibrant and in your face and we're going to shake things up energy in water. Usually that's left to the fire, right? Look, think of it. Scorpio versus Sagittarius. Who's going to be more fiery? Well, Sagittarius every time, right? Right now, Scorpio is really showing you that there's stuff we need to break. We are so not connecting into ourselves. We are so avoiding as much as we can that authentic self. When we do that, we are avoiding our life experience. We're avoiding what it is we wanted to do in this lifetime. Many times, we're avoiding life altogether. We're starting to binge watch TV. We're shutting down. Scorpio is reminding us there's a lot we wanted to do. Is it all work? Yes and no. Some of the work is so much fun. It's just how you approach it. For me, I love working in this. I love working with people who are working on their skills, connecting in with themselves. That's part of what I enjoy doing. That reflection, I know we all dread it. It's so important. Helps us to cut the crap, start to see patterns. That's why, especially in my meditations that I'm working on in the channeling areas, I'm asking you to have your spiritual binder right in hand. I would encourage you guys over the next little while here, especially as the veil is thinning, because those aha moments, they are going to come like, woo woo, let's go, 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 go. Write them down. Please, please avoid your phone because they are They are electronic device, and high vibrational and low vibrational can impact electronics. The old school pen and paper, not so much. And binders are incredibly hard to lose. Low vibrational will hide crap on you. So will fairies, and they're not low vibrational. They're just putting a point. So having a binder, getting that information out, it helps you deal with those puzzle pieces a lot better because it's so easy to miss out, especially if we're in that shutdown avoidance mode. Okay, let's look at what other further supports will help my friends embrace the messages of Scorpio. I love this deck, but the cards are so not flexible, and I've worked with this deck for a while. It's the thickness of the card just doesn't shuffle well at all. The first one, Luminescence. Love that play. So, of course, we have that water and that energy. Really reconfirming that need for that energetical self and the use of water to really illuminate where it is you're going and what's happening in the here and now. Many of us are so caught up in the, oh, I've got to go forward. I need to make those long-term goals. Or the other way around, you're caught up in the, oh, woe is me, the good old days, this sucks. When we're in the here and now, it's when we can start to see through the thicket, see what it is we need to do. Which brings back the courage because it can be terrifying to tackle some of these patterns. Like I said, don't worry. We're not looking at obliterating everything in Scorpio. Scorpio wants to start to nudge that ball forward, identifying it as something that we need to work on. And guess what, guys? We're in the full hunter moon. Something that we're going to be working on throughout the winter. Freedom. Such a pretty word. So, of course, when we aren't so driven by our ego, when we're starting to be that authentic self, using our natural skills and abilities without even thinking. If you ask people who channel or who are mediums, they started out the same way we did. You had to really go through and think. After a while, it just flows. You're just like, and hello, strange entity. What's happening? You're using your skills, your abilities, and you're just flowing with it. Goes back to that energy. The energies are all around us. 5, 10 years ago, would you have acknowledged them? No. It's about that process. It's about that identification, that understanding. Same is true here. Watch this. Solar plexus chakra. So depending on your chakra system, can be the fourth chakra or the third. It's your solar plexus here. So if you're in a third dimensional chakra system, it's your third. If you're in the fifth, it's your fourth. We're looking at that inner fire, that flame, that determination, that willpower. If you're feeling really unsure and really fearful, my suggestion, call in Archangel Uriel. Anytime he comes in, my solar plexus goes whoosh, and I'm like, hey, Uriel's here. It's part of that identification of energies. Because a lot of times it's not like you can see them come in, you feel them way before you see them come in. So Archangel Uriel can really help to strengthen that solar plexus chakra. If you're new to this and you're not too sure, I do have a meditation with Archangel Uriel in actually stepping into your power, stepping into you, stepping into that creativity. Super, super. Oh, and I should mention, if you're new to my channel and don't know about the meditations, I have 4 playlists of tools, 1 mindfulness and 3 meditation playlists. They are there for you. They range in time. Most of them average about 30 minutes or so, and they're guided. Most importantly, they're free. You can use them to your advantage. I am not a monetized channel, so any advertisement is all YouTube, not me. Awakened awareness. Not really too shocking to see it, especially as the thinning veil is coming forward. We're being able to acknowledge more is coming forward. And I've said this before, our third eye, even if we've shut it down due to fear, if it's totally closed and glued shut, there's still sensory input there. Think of it as when you go outside and you close your eyes. If it's sunny outside, you can tell it comes through your eyelids. Same with your third eye. We still have that awareness. More and more things are going to awaken, and you're going to have a better understanding of not only your skills and abilities, but you as you move forward, as you start to actually actively identify and work with things. Just to confirm it, balance forces. With that balance, we need that stability within and around us. We can call it in intentionally, and we can maintain and sustain it. Please do not hyperfocus or overthink this. Overthinking and hyperfocusing in on any aspect of life, no matter what it is your ego taking control. A way of misdirecting you away from what it is you want to do. So balance and reflection. Taking that time to create stability in our lives. Create the time. Be meaningful and planful. We do have a 4 in the middle of the spread. 4s are all about stability. One way we can create stability in our lives is routine and scheduling. So, what do you need to accomplish today? In the physical world, in your emotional world, your spiritual world. Balancing it out, because when one area is neglected, it impacts the others, and you're not able to grow and thrive. Again, misdirecting you. So, it's up to you. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Oh, sorry, Rick, I didn't see that. Oh, I'm glad that you find my meditations helpful. I'm glad. Sorry, if I ever do that, if you write, it can be that I'm just caught up in channeling information. I will get to you because I do look at it every now and then. But I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I will be live again tomorrow to look at the week ahead. So looking into the 24th, I think. Is it 24th this second? What does the computer say? Yes, 24th to the 30th. The last full week of October. So much fun. Absolutely love October, especially at this kind of lower end of October. So I will be live on Friday. Tuesday, you will have another channeling meditation. And then Friday, I will be live again. Now, I do want to bring up, I believe it's the 3rd. I'll clarify the date. The very beginning of November is another Channeling 101. I'm going to be doing some work on introduction to pendulums. I brought it up last week. I remember, or earlier this week. I think it was earlier this week. I don't know, my days and weeks are blurring. But I will be doing a pendulum workshop mini introduction. So if you have questions about pendulums, I will answer them. You can leave them below. You can contact me with whatever questions you have. I will show you how to use a pendulum. It's going to be a lot of fun, interactive. I will show you probably be something similar to this where you're actually seeing things work. I'm not going to hide it from you. I will show you how I do it. It's not rocket science. So if you have questions, you can wait and buy your pendulum afterwards, or if you have a pendulum, bring it and you can go along with me. So that will be another live session. I want to say the 3rd of November. It's right at the very beginning of November, though. So lots of fun stuff coming forward. Okay. Now, little housekeeping. If you like this video, thumbs up, because it helps people find me on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe, because I do random things like 101 workshops. I do random Scorpio videos on a Thursday. It just really depends on when things are hitting. So if you're subscribed, you're not going to miss out. So I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today. Until tomorrow, my friends.